Hello everyone. Today let us learn about IV fluid infusion in children. Definition: it is an effective and efficient method of supplying fluid directly into the intravenous compartment, producing rapid effect with availability of injecting large volume of fluid more than any other method of administration. Types of IV fluids are crystalloids and colloids. Crystalloids is a small molecules flowing easily through cell membrane and allowing for transfer from bloodstream into cells and body tissues. It increases the blood volume in both interstitial and intravascular spaces. Types of crystalloids are isotonic, hypertonic solutions. Next type is colloids. These are large molecules which do not pass through the cell membrane when infused. It remain mainly in the intravascular compartment. It expands intravascular volume and draw fluid from extravascular spaces. Examples of colloids are albumin, dextran, hemocels, etc. About the types of IV fluids and its example, crystalloids. About isotonic solutions, the examples are 0.9% sodium chloride, Ringer lactate and 5% dextrose. Examples of hypertonic solutions are 0.45 sodium chloride. And about the hypertonic solutions, 5% dextrose, 5% dextrose in Ringer lactate, 5% dextrose in 0.5% solution and 10% of dextrose in water. And about the examples of colloids, albumin, plasma protein, dextran, starch. Principles of IV fluid therapy. Patient needs IV fluid therapy for maintenance, replacement and resuscitation, that is in emergency situation. Maintenance. Fluids are given for compensating ongoing sensible losses such as urine output, fecal matter, respiration and perspiration. Its requirement is higher in children than the adults because of higher metabolic rate, more body surface area, higher respiratory rate. The normal range of children is for maintenance is 70 to 150 ml per hour. For most children, 5% dextrose with 0.5% sodium chloride provides need of sodium when used as maintenance fluid. Normal range of fluid requirement is calculated by Holiday-Sager method. For infants with 3.5 to 10 kg, the daily fluid requirement is 100 ml per kg. For children with 11 to 20 kg, the daily fluid requirement is 1000 ml plus 50 ml per kg for every kg over 10. Children with above 20 kg, daily fluid requirement is 1500 ml plus 20 ml per kg for every kg over 20 up to maximum of 2400 ml daily. Next principle of IV fluid therapy is replacement. It includes fluid to meet ongoing loss due to medical treatment. Example, the patient with chest tube drain, uncontrolled vomiting, continuous diarrhea, CSF shunt, etc. For that, Ringer lactate, normal salines are preferred. Methods of fluid delivery. It depends upon the patient's condition and the urgency of the situation. Commonly assessed methods of delivery are needle and syringe, peripheral intravenous line, central intravenous line, peripherally inserted central catheter, syringe pump, epidural pump, ambulatory pump, subcutaneous infusion and intraosseous infusions, etc. Formula for IV calculations. To calculate ml per hour and minute, the formula is total amount of volume divided by time in minutes or hour is equal to ml per hour or minute. And to calculate drops per minute, the formula is total amount of fluid divided by time in minutes into drop factor gives drop per minute. Next we can see about complications of intravenous therapy. Possible complications are infections. Anaphylaxis is an acute allergic reaction. Speed shock, it means sudden adverse physiologic reactions. Phlebitis, inflammation of the vein, infiltrations, extravasations. Extravasation is an accidental leakage of certain medicines outside of the vein and into the surrounding tissues. Nursing responsibilities in IV infusion. IV therapy is a common clinical procedure. Nurses need to be knowledgeable about the following criteria: anatomy, physiology and pharmacology about the conditions, procedure and method of delivery of fluids, infection control and universal precautions, safe drug and fluid calculations, type of fluids to be infused, maintaining accurate fluid balance charts, that is IO chart, duty of care and accountability, monitoring for incompatibilities, contraindications, side effects and complications, maintenance of accurate patient's record including the fluid balance chart, trust policies and procedures and mechanisms of reporting errors, finally the documentations. Thank you.